Okay, move over numbers 6 through 10 on a week 14 review sheet. Um, Number 6, I am not going to go over. We haven't gone over that in class yet, so I'm not going to go over number 6. Um, you probably will have to take that off your review sheet. So, not going to go over number 6. Number 7, we will go over. Number 7 is 145 centimeters equals how many meters? Okay. So what I want you to do here is your planner is a good resource for this question. So again, we have 145 centimeters, and we want to know how many meters. I want you to go to page 113 in your planner. Okay, and 113 in your planner will look something like this. Okay, so this makes it easier for us to convert different units. So we're at centimeters right here, and we need to get to meters, which is right here. Okay, and this is a pretty simple way of looking at it. Anytime you go down the steps, you're moving the decimal to the right of the number. Anytime you go up the steps, you're moving the decimal to the left of the number. So in this case, we're going from centimeters to meters, which means we're going to move our decimal to the left. Now, how many places do we move it? It depends how many steps you take. So if we're going from centimeters here, and we're going to have to go to meters here, how many steps do we take? We start here, 1 step, 2 steps. So we took 2 steps. So what that means is we're going to go 2 places to the left. 2 places to the left. Okay, again, that's page 113. So if I'm right here, there's my decimal. I'm going 2 places to the left. 1, 2. Okay? So that would be 1 and 45 hundredths meters. Okay? Planner is a great resource for that question. All right, let's look at number 8. It says, which measure is most likely the length of a digital camera? So we want to know the length of a digital camera. So we have 12 millimeters, 12 centimeters, 12 meters, or 12 kilometers. So what I want to do is just kind of talk about what each one of those means. So a millimeter, you would use that to measure, an example would be the thickness of a credit card. Okay, the thickness of a credit card. So a card something similar to this, you would measure the thickness of it. The thickness being right here. Okay, so you can see it's very, very small. So I would use a millimeter to measure the thickness of like a credit card. A centimeter, that would be like the length of your hand. If you wanted to measure the length of your hand, you would measure that in centimeters. A meter would be like the length of a guitar, like a single meter, like a meter, like you may know what a meter stick is. You may have seen those in class, a meter stick. So you could use that to measure the length of a guitar, or you could have, you know, 20 to 30 meters, and that may be the length of your house. Okay, so we would use that for like the length of a guitar would be like 1 meter, and you could also use meters to do like the length of your house. Kilometer measures long distances. It's like if we wanted to measure the distance from one city to another city, we would use kilometers. So, based on this information, I'm not going to give you the answer to this one, because I just gave you examples of each one. Which one would we use to measure the size of a digital camera? Would we use a millimeter, a centimeter, a meter, or a kilometer? Okay. Let's look at number 9. Again, number 9, I'm going to direct you to your a planner once again. A 2D shape with 6 sides. I want you to go to page 111. 111 in your planner. Okay, good resource here. You can see shapes here. You'll see in this box over here, and it'll give you the number of sides. It'll tell you the number of sides, which then will give you the answer to that question. Okay, so use your planner, or you can even see it here. If you have 6 sides, what would that be? What would the shape be? Okay, that's number 9, and we're at our last one, number 10. Okay, says Theodore Roosevelt was the youngest president. The oldest president was Ronald Reagan, who was 77 years old when he left office. When Reagan left office, he was 27 years older than Roosevelt when he left office. Roosevelt was president for 8 years. How old was Theodore Roosevelt when he became president? All right, so let's look at this one. Okay, so maybe we'll keep it like this. Okay, so I wrote down here Ronald Reagan was 77 years old when he left office. And I just got that information from right here. Now, it tells me that when Reagan left, he was 27 years older than Roosevelt. So he was older. So if I wanted to determine Roosevelt's age, I know Ronald Reagan was 77 years old, so he was 27 years older than Roosevelt. So I know I would subtract. Okay, so I would subtract 77 from 27. And I'm just going to put TR's age when he left. Okay, so if I subtract that, 7 minus 7 is 0. 7 minus 2 is 5. So now I have 50. But I'm not finished. I got to keep going with this problem. Okay, so the next part. Roosevelt was president for 8 years. So when Roosevelt left office, he was 50 years old. But now I know that he was a president for 8 years. So again, I'm going to have to subtract, again, 8 years from 50. Okay, because he was president for 8 years. I'm just going to put 8 years president. Okay, so once I do that, can't take 8 from 0. So I'll borrow from the 5, that becomes a 4, that becomes a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2, and then I have 42. So I know that he was 42 years old when he became president. Okay? So that is number 10. Alright, that's it for the review sheet, 1 through 10. Again, 11 through 20 will mirror the problems that I went over on 1 through 10 on the front. So if you have any problems, refer back to the video.